The story of Andrea Yates is one of the most heartbreaking tragedies in modern American history. A devoted mother of five who loved her children deeply while battling severe postpartum psychosis descended into a mental darkness no one around her fully recognized until it was too late. This is her story, not just what happened, but how she got there, and how a system failed to catch her before it was too late. Andrea's early life. Andrea grew up in a stable, hardworking family. She was the youngest of five children, intelligent, quiet, and deeply compassionate. A high achiever, swim team captain, and a nurse by age 22. Those who knew her described her as gentle, empathetic, and calm. But even as a teenager, she had early signs of depression and anxiety, signs that would later grow into something far more dangerous. Falling in love and the beginning of a family. In 1989, she met Russell "Rusty" Yates, an engineer working for NASA. They quickly fell in love and married in 1993. They shared a dream of having a big, loving family grounded in faith. Over the next 8 years, they had 5 children. Noah, born 1994. John, 1995. Paul, 1997. Luke, 1999. And Mary, 2000. Andrea adored her kids. Every photo shows her with soft eyes, a protective smile, and children who clearly trusted her. But inside, she was falling apart. The decline, postpartum mental illness. After her 4th child was born, Andrea experienced her first severe mental breakdown. It started quietly, deep sadness, withdrawal, anxiety, and silence. Then it plunged into crisis. She stopped talking, stopped eating, and attempted self-harm. Eventually, she was hospitalized and diagnosed with severe postpartum depression. Postpartum psychosis, a rare but extremely dangerous condition. Doctors told the family she should not have more children. Postpartum psychosis can return even worse. But 1 year later, she gave birth to baby Mary. A system that failed. In the months after Mary's birth, Andrea's mental health collapsed again, this time more violently. She had terrifying hallucinations. She believed she was a bad mother. She thought Satan was whispering to her. Became convinced that her children were damned. She began self-harming repeatedly. Hospitalizations helped temporarily, but she was repeatedly sent home too early. Her medications were inconsistent. And her psychiatrist, Dr. Mohammed Saeed, reduced some medications despite signs she was worsening. Her family later said, Andrea was screaming for help, and no one listened long enough. The day everything broke, June 20th, 2001. On a quiet morning around 9 a.m., Rusty, the husband, left home for work. Andrea was alone with the children. Her mind was in complete psychosis, lost inside delusions, where she believed killing her children was the only way to save their souls from eternal suffering. In a state of terror and confusion, she drowned all 5 of her children in the bathtub, one by one. Noah, 7 years old. John, 5 years old. Paul, 3 years old. Luke, 2 years old. Baby Mary, 6 months old. Afterward, she called 911 and calmly said she needed the police. Then she called her husband and simply said, "You need to come home." When police arrived, she told them exactly what she had done. She was not hiding from it. She believed she had saved them. The trial. Andrea was charged with capital murder. But the trial became a national debate. Was she a cold-blooded killer, or a mother destroyed by untreated mental illness? In 2002, she was initially convicted and sentenced to life in prison. But her defense appealed, and in 2006, the conviction was overturned because expert testimony had been flawed. The second trial and final outcome. In the second trial, the jury reached a different conclusion. Andrea was not guilty by reason of insanity. She was sent to the Kerrville State Hospital, a mental health facility, not a prison. There, doctors reported that she showed deep remorse. She finally responded well to treatment. She understood the tragedy in a way she never could during her psychosis. She remains hospitalized to this day. The legacy and larger conversation. Andrea Yates's story sparked nationwide conversations about postpartum mental health, access to psychiatric care, the danger of untreated psychosis, how the justice system handles mental illness. Many experts now cite her case as one of the clearest. Examples of how postpartum psychosis can lead to actions completely outside a mother's true character. Her lawyers, doctors, and even Rusty have repeatedly said, Andrea loved her children more than anything. Without mental illness, this tragedy would not have happened. A human reflection. The story of Andrea Yates is not one of evil. It is one of catastrophic failure. A mother begging for help, a family overwhelmed, a medical system stretched thin, a devastating illness mismanaged, 5 beautiful children lost, and a woman who will live with unimaginable grief for the rest of her life. It is a reminder that mental illness is not weakness, and that when ignored, it can lead to unthinkable tragedy. If you are not following this page, you may never see us again. But if you are, congratulations. You are learning something new every day.